welcome back to another episode of the Saturday Drop-In. You're here with Shannon and Tom. We're going to intro this very quickly. We've got the Florians in to talk about their new performance that they're doing in June. The usual Beat Detective, Guess the Year, this or that. You're going to love this or that. Definitely if you are...
Some people will love it, that's for sure.
There's a love or hate. Dick or Doc. We'll just leave it as that. Dick or Doc. And yeah, some very... interesting news, surprising news.
Something's on the way shortly.
It is. So make sure you listen in and play along. And then what was the email? It is socials@hhr.scot. If you want to
be one of the cool gang that emails from the podcast.
So that's like no one, yeah.
Shh.
Houston there. Ooh, I want to dance with somebody.
Oh, yes, please.
You are listening to the Saturday Drop-In, and we're back for a second week together.
Is this 2 weeks in a row?
This is 2 weeks
Have
in a row.
Have you ever done 2 in a row before?
I don't think I've done 2 in a row either.
Yeah, no. Well, don't worry. The ship is still here.
The ship is still here and back from Hinckley.
Yes, indeed. So it's not 2 in a row because you weren't here last week, were you?
I was not. No.
Yeah, exactly. You
Wait,
were down.
No, was I here last week?
No, you weren't because you were
no,
down.
do you know why? Yeah. I was doing Thursday, so I was like, oh, I've obviously
you were on a
been
Thursday.
in.
Yeah, you did, but you were down in Hinckley last week.
Yeah.
For a big glitzy
glam
event.
ball.
A glam ball.
A glam ball.
And you were all looking lovely as well.
Oh, thank you very much.
The whole team from Highland Hospital Radio was down there. But we'll talk about that later. Let's just say hello. Hi, welcome along. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I've actually sent you something very quickly on Facebook. If you'd like to review this is the reason why I was a wee bit late today.
Okay.
Right. I want a live reaction.
You've sent me something on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger.
Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, you can do that on the laptop. just in your own time. See why the Coyote came off now?
I didn't. Oh, no way.
I know, it only took him 7 years, didn't it?
Oh, Shannon, I kind of want to come around and hug you, but that'll ruin the whole magic of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that happened.
Thank goodness for that. Right.
Did you think something really bad happened?
Something really bad. So, well, we let the listener in.
Might as well.
The picture that I can see in front of me is a beautiful picture of the wonderful Shannon Marvel standing in front of Loch Ness. I can guess that that's Dores Beach.
It is Dores Beach. Yeah.
And with her not standing, but indeed, I'm shaking, but actually kneeling on one knee with what appears to be a ring in his hand is Benjamin Hanby. The big question, I'm hoping, given it, you're smiling. It looks to me like Ben has proposed and asked you to marry him, Shannon. What did you say?
I said no. I'm joking.
She's got a ring on. How did I see that? Oh, Shannon, amazing! Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's fantastic.
I think that's a good way to start the drop-in. I'll be honest with you. Are you shaking?
I'm properly shaking.
Aww.
I'll tell you. So you
that's very sweet.
You messaged this morning saying I'm going to be late in. What was it? A little surprise has happened, and I'm going to be late in.
Yeah.
Now, maybe breaking confidence here.
Okay.
But also your fiance.
Yeah.
Also messaged just say, listen, Sharon, it's she's up, early and things have been happening. So,
yeah.
Hopefully she's okay. I was like, I messaged you both. Is everything okay? I'm really worried about you. And I messaged you earlier on saying, listen, if there's a problem, just call off. It's fine. I can host the show myself.
What did I reply with? No, I need to be here.
You need to be here. I was like, what on earth has happened? For context, the last time something like this happened, there was a rat in your house. The messaging was very similar to the rat situation.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, God, I'm properly relieved that it's not something bad, right? But second, that is wonderful news. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Shannon and Ben.
Yeah. And you're looking to a future Mrs. Hamby here.
Wow.
I am keeping the Marvel for
keep the
stage
Marvel
performances.
for stage and performance and
Hamby's
professionalism.
All right.
Plus, we've already done all the graphics for social media and you just can't be bothered changing them, really.
No, that is very true. So that's the reason I was late today. But because I didn't know it's happening, I'm here.
Amazing.
Which is great because we've got so much happening we've got Guess the Year coming up at 1:15.
It's all irrelevant.
We're just going to moving on. We're going to...
So, we're still doing a radio show. Cool.
Yeah, we are still doing a radio show. So we've got Guess the Year coming up. We have our guests ready with a coffee outside.
Yes, they have got coffee. They're waiting outside. They're been sidelined by this as well. they didn't know it was coming up.
I saw him come in and I was like, oh, this is going to be an interesting surprise now. Sorry. So yeah, Guess the Year. The Florians are in to talk about their latest performance in June. Beat Detective and This or That as well.
Yeah. Whatever.
Are you right?
I'm absolutely astonished. I'm delighted
Aww.
for it. But I think I'm entitled to say, come on, Ben, took long enough.
Do you know what? That's what my dad said as well when I called him. He was like, about time.
And do you know what? Even though she's had this major life event take place, she is still one of the top 5
female presenters.
Female close brackets presenters in hospital broadcasting. She's got Let's Get Married by the Proclaimers.
It's 12:15 on your Saturday drop-in, which means Guess the Year is up. It's running.
We're
playing Guess the Year.
Yeah, it is time for Guess the Year. We have got a series of clues. We have got a series of songs, all to try and point you to a particular year. And that's as simple as that. Just guess the year.
Yeah.
We're going to go into the first song, or do you want some clues first, Shannon?
Let's
you
do a
produce
couple
me. Tell
of
me what you
clues
want.
in music.
A couple of clues in music.
In music.
In music, the section in music leads straight into a certain EastEnders.
Okay.
So we've got. Oh wait a minute.
Hang on. Do we need the doof doofs?
I think we if you don't do a doof doof, then why even set it up? So
exactly. Very nice.
I believe for copyright reasons we can get away with that because it's
4 seconds.
Only 3 seconds.
Is it 3? Oh, very
I
nice.
don't know. Anyway, Martine McCutcheon, aka Tiffany Mitchell, after leaving EastEnders, she released the hit single "A Perfect Moment."
See, I had to double check who these guys were. So
oh my goodness,
I know.
Shannon.
So
you do this every week.
I know.
You do this deliberately to make me feel
I haven't watched
older.
EastEnders in years, like actual years.
So Martine McCutcheon, she played.
She was also in Emmerdale, though.
Was she in? No.
She was in Love Actually.
Yeah, she was in. Is it Emmerdale or is it Love Actually?
It was
That's
both.
an interesting. Was she in Emmerdale?
Aye.
I'll pass it. But yeah, she was in Love Actually. She was the love interest in Love Actually to Hugh Grant, Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Anyway, Michelle Gale, formerly portraying Hattie Tavernier, had several top 40 hits and 2 successful albums. Sid Owen, of course. Ricky Butcher. He reached number 14 with his cover of Michael Jackson's "We've Got a Good Thing Going."
Oh, okay.
Sid James had a song out.
EastEnders were doing pretty well in the music business back on this year.
In this year, I mean, to be fair, EastEnders has done pretty well in terms of music over the years.
They do.
Nick Berry, who was in EastEnders a wee bit before this year.
David
maybe.
Essex was in it.
Yes.
He had a little spout being a moon.
Anita Dobson as well.
Yes.
So yeah, lots to enjoy there.
Okay.
But we'll go into the first song. You have got lined up for us, Miss Marvel. You changed saying that. We've got some Madonna lined up. It's Ray of Light here on Guess the Year.
And that's Ray of Light, Madonna on your Guess the Year. It is up on social media as well. So Highland Hospital Radio on Facebook and Instagram, Highland H Radio on BlueSky as well. Or you can email us. It's studio@hhr.scot. Now, this song came out in May of this year, which is a pretty good month of this year.
A pretty good month indeed.
If I say so myself.
All right, here we go.
But before we go into that bit, we're going to go and talk about TV. So digital television was launched. The BBC initiated its digital signal in June, coinciding with this year's FIFA World Cup.
It's a World Cup year.
It is, yeah.
Oh, that's narrowed it down.
A new channel launches. Shocking. Remember when people used to get excited because the channels were launching?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember when Channel 5 launched, there was a big countdown. The Spice Girls were involved in that as well. Yes,
yeah.
It was a big event.
So Sky Digital began operations in October of this year, including channels like Sky Sports, News and Film 4. Ally McBeal debuted on Channel 4. It's an American legal comedy drama television series created by David E. Kelly, and it's also produced by him as well.
Ally McBeal was a phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain it now, I suppose, but it was also... So the show itself was quite surreal. It had some sort of cutaway moments. Did you ever see the internet phenomenon that was the dancing baby?
I did. This was also this year as well.
So therefore, that was used within Ally McBeal as well.
Right, okay, got
you.
ya.
Very, very big deal indeed.
Yeah, and then, who else? Barry Norman announced his departure from the BBC after 25 years. So Barry presented a number of shows, such as Hollywood Greats, Barry Norman's Guide to American Soaps, Talking Pictures, and Soaps Down Under in 1991. But obviously, this is when he said, "Do you know what? I'm leaving."
Film year. So it was always the BBC did this. They had the film program with Barry Norman. It was always like film 82, film 83, film. So that was how they did it.
Right, okay.
But then they also had like holiday. Now
Yes.
I could be wrong with who my holiday presenters were back then, but I'm going to say Gloria Honeyford, and I'll maybe be corrected on that. But yeah, it was like holiday 82, holiday 83.
Okay. Had lots of holidays.
They had a thing about putting the year on the end of programmes.
Okay.
I don't know. There you
Alright.
go. There's the reason behind it.
Fair enough, as well as the human body.
Right. So
aired
this
on
was,
this. Apparently, this was a big thing too. And I looked it
was.
up, and I was like,
Professor
Interesting.
Professor Robert Winston effectively ran this documentary series about the human body. It hadn't really been done before to this scale or level, or with the graphics or anything that were getting used for it.
okay.
Speaking of the human body and born in this year. You know, we always like to give you a big celebrity for this one.
We do.
I've been set up here. I'm just declaring
I have
this
no
right now.
idea what you're on about, right?
Your favourite Saturday drop-in presenter, 3 times nominated, 1 bronze for best newcomer, and 2 top 5 in best female presenter at the Hospital Broadcasting Association Awards. Jeez, peeps.
Keep going.
Thank you. Yeah, there's more. She's known for abseiling off castles, a rational fear of Naughty's children's favourite toy car Brum. You misspelled irrational there.
Oh, sorry.
And of course, when Capital Breakfast Jordan North shouted, "There's my co-presenter" at the Student Radio Awards in 2018, she burst into boozeful tears and never heard from him again.
I haven't. It's been a few years now.
It's the birth year of our very own Shannon Marvel.
It is.
I would love to critique this, but I did once choose, I guess, the year that was my birth year as well.
You did. Same year as IKEA.
Yes.
As we found out later on down the line.
Thank you. Yes, I am as old as IKEA. But I think I'm doing better. In sport, Celtic clinched the Scottish Premier League title in this year, preventing Rangers from achieving the historic 10 in a row. That was a big deal back then. Simon Donnelly played a pivotal role, scoring a crucial goal against Dunfermline. And it was Hearts secured their first major trophy in 36 years by defeating Rangers 2-1 in the Scottish Cup final. It was held at Celtic Park because Hampden was getting refurbished. Colin Cameron's early penalty and Stefan Adam, goodness, his goal were decisive. What a time to be alive.
What a time to become alive.
To be born, yes.
To become alive. So our second song as well. So it's Natalie Imbruglia. So this was the chart topper of this year.
Yeah.
Or one of them, because I think Cher was like number 1 at one point. As well as every other 90s.
Everyone else was having a shot, yeah.
Yeah, I think there was Spice Girls.
They were around probably.
They were around at that point as well.
Yeah, just about.
But I was like, have a little bit of torn.
Natalie Imbruglia, yeah, loving it.
Natalie Imbruglia. So you've got a couple more minutes until we announce the guest of the year. It is Highland Hospital Radio on Facebook and Instagram, Highland H Radio on BlueSky, or studio@hhr.scot. Pop in your requests and your answer. This is Torn Natalie Imbruglia.
Natalie Imbruglia and Torn as part of our guest of the year here on your Saturday drop-in on Highland Hospital Radio. We have had a guest coming in from a certain Kerry Marvel, fan of the show.
Yeah. She's going to have to buy a hat.
How excited is she? Now, I just said, "Oh, look, she's managed to get the year right," and you've said, "Well, you'd like to think she would get the year right."
To be fair, she does normally get my year wrong. She thinks I'm 97.
Kerry, you're looking good for 97 here.
I know, I'm doing all right, you know.
Kerry is, of course, Shannon's lovely mum, and she is correct. Your year is 1998.
Oh, I haven't got the buttons up. Hang on, let me have a look. Where are they? This one. Yay! I should really know that's number 1, but that's fine.
It's okay, it's all good.
We have a request through.
Oh, yes, go for it.
We do. We have a request. So Sam, who is a lovely friend of mine, thank you very much for messaging in and having a listen. So he says, in honour of Ben finally proposing, we can request this song. Who is this?
I like this request. This is a good one. Anything that attacks Ben's always good. We've got Finally by, are you going to say it?
No.
It's CeCe Peniston. She was a bit nervous about that.
It's been a long time coming. But we're going to be moving on. So in June, as much as the sun will be up, we have an amazing play that is going to be at the Florians. And we have the lovely Fiona and Morag in today. How are we today?
Hi,
Very
fine.
good.
Good, lovely to hear. So first off, the play is going to be called Get Up and Tie Your Fingers. So can you give us just a quick explanation of what the play is about?
Well, it's about the herring lassies, and Get Up and Tie Your Fingers, although it's a slightly strange title, was actually the call that woke the women up in the morning. Somebody went round and shouted out, "Get up and tie your fingers." So that's it's about the herring women, and it shows how resilient they are despite all the tragedies that surround them and how hard they worked. And I think we see in the play how they lived with they didn't obviously have television and social media, so they had to provide their own songs and dances, and we see that within the play too.
That's amazing.
So is this based on true events, or is it sort of based on the periods specifically, or is it based on an actual living person, or a person who did was around at that time?
So it was a disaster that happened in Eyemouth in 1881. They called it Black Friday, 14th of October 1881. And it was the worst fishing disaster in Scottish history, and remains so to this day. When the storm hit and the boats were trying to get back into the Eyemouth harbour, and of that 129 men died in that storm, and it resulted in 93 widows and 267 orphans.
That's a lot. Wow.
It's staggered. That's probably, even though it was 1881, that's probably something that's still felt today in that area, in terms of the impact of the loss of that many lives, and the reduction in the population in that area.
I'm told it's still felt, because I went down to the Scottish Fishery Museum in Anstruther, and one of the people that looked after the museum said she came from Eyemouth, and there's still a shadow over the area, and I'm hoping to go down quite soon to see it. But yes, it caused a huge disaster. And of course, the women and children were watching as their men drowned, because they were just offshore when a freak storm came up.
I suppose when we think it would have been open boats, I'd imagine.
Yes.
When we think of the fishing industry is obviously still quite challenging and very dangerous to this day. But this would have been open boats. It would have been rowing, effectively. There would have been no engine or anything, I'd imagine. So what inspired you to put this play on? What was it that sort of brought it to your attention?
Well, I'll have to say, although I'm directing it, it's Morag that suggested the play in the first place.
So a few years back, there was a competition for monologues for what's called the SCDA, and I had a friend who's a drama teacher, and Amanda had shown me this monologue that my character Janet does, and I just thought, oh my goodness, this is so powerful. I want to know where this story and what it's about, and that's how I came to find out about the play. And I actually got in touch with the woman who wrote it, Anne Coburn.
Yes.
And she said, "Oh, let me know how it goes." And I actually got silver for the whole of Scotland.
Wow! Congratulations
for my monologue. So that's where it came from. And Fiona, when I was doing it, very kindly filmed it for me, because you had to present it, a video, send it in. And that's how we sort of connected with this, and I said to her, what about this, doing the full play? And that's how it came about.
You mentioned there the how they entertain themselves. Is there any singing in it? Because I would think about the Bothy ballads, and I'm thinking of the Steamy would be my sort of, in terms of more a city centre concept. But there must be that same element of a singing tradition or songs that were from that area. Is that included in the play as well?
Absolutely. We also use what's called the seal calling song, which is in Gaelic. So the actors have to learn how to sing and speak some Gaelic, and we've had great help with that from the Gaelic speakers. So I hope Gaelic speakers will come along, and I hope they will find it's correct. But yes, we've got the Song of the Fish Gutters, which is a fairly traditional song, and the Herring Heads, which is a kind of round which they sing. But yes, they sing and they dance. Yes, it's definitely part. And there is a hymn too, a traditional fisher hymn that's in.
So, for example, in the Herring Heads, it's Oh, fiddle a day with the herring heads, I mak them into loaves of bread, I mak them into loaves of bread, sing fall the do a day. Herring head, loaves of bread, and all sorts of things.
Wow, that was amazing. That was amazing.
Without even being asked, you pick up a book and say, I'm going to sing for you.
Yeah.
That's cracking.
With the production and when you're doing rehearsals, has there been a lot of like moving or sort of surprising parts of the story when people are kind of learning about their characters? Have people been sort of surprised by certain things as the story in general, or just a certain characteristic traits that they might have not picked up from that character maybe?
I think I can only speak for myself and Rosin and Jay. Although this is about the disaster and these characters and what it does to Janet and the loss that she goes through, it's just a small part of who these women are. Yeah. And I think we've all learned that when we first read it, it was, oh my goodness, it's going to be such a dark, but there's so much humour in these women, and I think that is what these women, what got them through in life, was the humour and the strength that they had. So although there's a disaster, it is actually, these women are quite funny and resilient and strong, and that's what I have learned. It's not just about.
So is this play like a light-hearted play, or is it a bit of both?
I think it's probably a bit of both, because there has been tragedy in their lives, and we learn about the cholera outbreak as well and how that has affected them. But Janet, for example, stays strong more or less throughout. And there's a young girl, Jay, Molly, who's played by Jay in it, who doesn't want to be a woman. She wants to go and be a lady's maid. But I think what I learned from the play is that the herring women were not only strong women, but they were also very successful, because they travelled round and they were sent to Russia and to Canada because they were so clever at what they did and how they gutted and how they packed. So they were and they also made money. Okay, maybe not huge amounts of money, but they would take presents back to where they came from, and they were highly respected, which I sometimes feel that we don't know when we think about the herring women, how important they were within their community.
Yeah, amazing. It's something that's very new to me. I literally, I think, end of this week have learned what walking songs are, like traditional walking songs, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. So it's definitely an angle that I think I need to look into a lot more, definitely. And
although it's set in Eyemouth on the east coast, down East Lothian towards the Scottish borders, it's probably a story that reflects all across these coastal communities. There's certainly a reference to the part that women played within the fishing industry, as it were, in Nairn. I know that as you go out past where the harbour is, there's a monument to that. So I suppose the story, although this is specifically set in Eyemouth, it probably is reflective of Scottish coastal towns in that period all across, I should imagine.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, the Inverness Archive are doing an exhibition up in Wick in May, just before we put our play on. And the next one is down in England, because they go right down they go through Scotland and right down through England, the herring women. So it's not just in Scotland.
So you're joining us back here on the Saturday Drop-In here on Highland Hospital Radio. In the studio, we're joined by two members of the Florians. We've got Fiona and Morak, who've been telling us about the forthcoming play they've got coming up, which is, now I will get this wrong, but I'll try my best to get it right. Wake up. Get up and tie your fingers.
That's it.
That's the play. And we've been learning about the background of the play and what the topic is that's covered. But the one thing that we probably didn't mention was the tying the fingers element. Now, there's maybe people who'll be listening and go, well, I know exactly what you're on about. But maybe those who don't, and I'm speaking on behalf of me here, what did that mean? What was the reference to that in terms of these women and the tying the fingers?
So, as Fiona had said, they would shout, going down the street, get up and tie your fingers. So there was crews of 3 women. And when they saw that the herring fleet was coming in, they would shout that. So the women would have to come out, and they would have this really strong sort of, not tape, but it would have been quite coarse, like bandage sort of thing. And they would tie it round their fingers and say they were right-handed onto their left hand, because that's the hand that they would have the fish that they were going to get. And in the other hand, they had a really, really sharp knife. And they would cut it so that they wouldn't cut their fingers.
Themselves, yeah.
So you had to get up and tie your fingers and get ready because that boats were coming in.
That was the way the
Yeah.
boat was coming in.
Yeah.
I wonder what the scale was like there. What were the numbers, do we know, in terms of in a day? And I know I'm probably asking a question that's never really covered, but I'm intrigued by that, to think that the scale of this must have been massive.
It was
Yes.
massive.
And then the actual moving these around the country as well. Probably been about the time of the railways coming in as well, that would have
Possibly,
no doubt
yeah.
had a part to play in that. But we should really ask you more about the Florians in general.
Yeah, so first off, the Florians itself. Could you explain exactly what it is? Because we know that there's the theatre up by the Aquadome,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
what
Yeah.
what is it for you guys?
So it is an amateur dramatics group that has been around for a very long time. In fact, we had our 80th anniversary last
Wow.
year, so 81 years now.
Happy birthday to the Florians.
Oh, thank you very much. And it was actually a man called Guy Vason was the founder of the Florians, and I'll just tell you quickly. So, it was formerly a Nissan hut, was what it was, and it was founded in actually 1944 to entertain the troops stationed
Oh,
in
right.
Inverness, and
Okay.
that's how it's come about.
Yeah.
And so we have been around for a very long time.
And is the Florians like a charity base, or is it just sort of a community space essentially?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But it's only for the Florians. We don't hire it
right,
out to
okay.
anyone else. We've got junior Florians
Amazing.
for the young ones, and as they come through, then they join the senior Florians as in, adults.
Okay, amazing. And what spaces are available if someone wants to join the Florians? What spaces are there? Because you say amateur dramatics. Do you
Yeah.
do creative writing, as well as acting as well? Like what positions are available if someone wishes to be a part of the Florians?
Well, you don't get paid for it.
Okay, I don't get paid for doing this,
We know
so
that's
We do it because we absolutely love it.
amazing.
We put on 3 shows a year, sometimes 4. Panto is our really big one. It's on for over 10 nights.
Wow.
And we have a lot of the juniors there. It's very well attended. It's sold out every year, particularly the Panto. We do like a serious play, and we'll do like a comedy as well. Like last year we did Allo Allo.
Oh.
Ah, love hello,
was
hello.
very, very funny. Yeah, Lisa directed that, and she did an amazing
Wow.
job. Yes, and then you have something who's a little bit more serious in the June, and something a bit more light-hearted in the September, and then we've got we're always looking for new members. Come along, if you look us up, it will be there as to maybe what shows are coming up, and then they also put out, for the read through, and people want to come along and try out for a part, or if it's Panto, they might just think, oh, that's not for me, but you can be part of the ensemble, and it's a lot of fun,
Oh,
and we're
amazing.
all very nice people.
Yes.
Good to hear.
And we're always looking for help backstage.
Yeah, I
as
was just
well.
going to say, because
Yeah.
it's in the similar way to hospital radio. People only think about
So
the
much
people
happens in
talking
the
into the
background, yeah.
microphone. It'll be the people on stage, but there's so much that has to go on in terms of building scenery, I'd imagine, and creating music for it, and then even the administration of it is quite challenging as well.
No, absolutely. For this play in particular, our very talented designer Alan is creating shipwrecks on a beach. So the women work among that. And we've got a gentleman, our musical director is Eddie Doherty, who's obviously helping with the singing. And we've got a very talented person making props, making knives that don't cut everybody. So yes, we need a lot of help backstage. There's costumes and always something to do. And as you say, we've got publicity people who kind of let people know how to get tickets, and you can always go onto Facebook, Florians, and you'll find out how to get tickets there.
Amazing.
I'm just on the website just now. It's florians.org.uk.
Yes.
You can find out the current production. They've got all their past productions as well. But at the moment, I'm looking at the pictures of the theatre, and it's such a lovely wee space. So we should explain, if you've never been before, it's not a grand, large, 500, 600, 700 capacity. Is it 98 it holds, which is, I would describe as, that's intimate. That you're very close to the performance, even if you're a few rows back, you're still very close to the performers, and that must create a really nice sort of feeling, particularly in the quieter moments of the plays, I'd imagine, where you're, for example, your monologue that you were explaining earlier, the intimacy of the room must really benefit that and help.
Yes, it does. The monologues that each of the women have, they're very, very powerful. And so to have it be able to, like, as close as you are to me right now, that's the front row.
Wow.
So,
very, very intimate then.
It's almost as if you're actually just telling one person your story.
Yeah.
And that makes it all the more powerful. And when you want to do it justice, particularly because it was true, and these women did exist, and they did lose their sons and their husbands, you know.
It's something to keep that memory going, essentially, even after those family have, moved on, essentially.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That must be quite challenging when you're taking on a role like this. Do you feel a responsibility almost to tell the story accurately and to tell it well in the memory of these people who have existed?
I suppose to some extent, yes. And I'm amazed how many people, now it wasn't in my family, but if I mention it to somebody else, so many people will say, my grandmother was one of the Herring women, or my auntie, or I remember. So yes, there is a sense of responsibility because they should be remembered. As you say, there are statues, and I believe in Eyemouth there's a statue of all the women and all the children looking out to sea. So yes, there is a sense of responsibility.
But you were keen to say that the play, as much as it has this very serious tone, it's a historical tone, it has its light-hearted moments as well. It's not, you didn't want to make it sound as if it's all doom and gloom. There is, of course there's a positive, there's a nice outlook towards the end. So that it really is a play that, for everyone, you might be listening thinking, well, I'm not too sure about it, but there is definitely something for everybody in this.
Oh, absolutely. And it does remind us of Scottish history, so that's important. And yes, you can come along and you might even know some of the songs. Don't know if you'll join in, but yes, no, I hope that it will be an uplifting play rather than anything else.
If you are listening and you're interested,
yes,
how could we get in touch, and when is the play, and where is the theatre if you didn't know?
Okay, our little theatre is beside Buck Park, and we're performing on June the 4th right through to Saturday the 7th, and you can get tickets, as you mentioned, at www.florians.org.uk. So please come along and see us.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely, definitely support. Groups such as this are so in need of support, but and so deserving of support as well. It's such a really interesting outlet for people to go and perform and enjoy themselves, and for the community to go and enjoy it as well. What a valuable resource.
Exactly, amazing. Thank you so much for popping on today.
You
We
for
really
us.
appreciate it. Well, you're welcome back next time you do your next show if you want a cheeky promo as well. Oh, you want me to start?
And breathe. We're into the second hour of the Saturday drop
We
in.
are into the second hour.
And it's
been
been
a
non-stop.
busy 1 hour, so sorry
Non-stop.
about that.
So we are taking a chance to breathe, relax and calm down. Let's recap. We've just had the Florians who came and visited us, who told us all about their forthcoming production, which sounds really good, actually. The Florians, well worth checking out. Go to the website, florians.org.uk. An excellent wee group of people there.
Yeah.
And then, so I think we have to recap on this.
Okay.
At the beginning of the show, Shannon, so in setting up for this, Shannon messaged me today, said, I'm going to be late. There's been a surprise, I think was the wording.
Thing, yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, right, okay. Now, I'm a worrier. This is the thing you've got
You
to understand about me. I do worry
And
about
I
things.
use that to my
And
own greater
and
good.
you absolutely take advantage of me with this. Because here's the thing, I kind of like you and Ben. You're all right.
All right.
There you go, see? That's as high praise as you're getting.
Thanks.
So whenever you two message and say, oh, something's up, then I know there's, I have concerns. The rat incident, for example.
The rat incident was, yeah.
And
check
again,
back on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, and
if you want to hear that story.
And on the, the history on TikTok, you'll see the discussion about that, as I'm pretty sure. Or did we not do rat chat?
No, we didn't do a rat chat.
Not on TikTok.
Oh.
I can't keep up.
It's like love chat, but it's rat chat.
Rat chat.
Rat chat.
We had, so you do this to me all the time.
Yeah.
Where you send me a message and you go, Tom, ... or, oh, and while you're on, ... and then there's a pause, and you must obviously go make a cup of tea or something. Like, come on, Shannon.
I'm just trying to.
And it's
Typing is.
try to
I
wind me up
speed
is what you're
typing.
doing. So I couldn't even enjoy my bagel in the garden this morning because I'm like, I said to my wife, I said, something's up with Shannon. Something's not right. Yeah. But then Shannon comes in and she sends me a picture without any warning,
Yeah.
and it is a picture of her now fiance Ben
Yeah.
proposing on the shores of Loch Ness at Dores Beach.
Mm-hmm.
How very romantic.
I know, it was very lovely. We sort of called everyone afterwards, you know, the important people, parents, obviously. And
Sorry, the important people.
I told you.
No.
Yeah, but I thought it'd be funnier to do it on air.
Yeah, thanks.
But
The pursuit for content is never ending, is
it's
it?
never ending. Yeah, and Ben's mum was just like, it's very typical of Ben to get you up at 7 o'clock in the morning to then propose at 9 in the morning. And I'm like, yeah, no.
What was this today?
Yeah, it's
No
this
way,
morning.
was
Yeah,
it
it's
today?
this morning. Yeah.
No, I
That's
didn't
why
know
we're
that.
late.
Oh, Ben, what are you doing proposing on... Come on, Saturday.
Saturday?
Saturday drop-in takes
Yeah.
precedence here, Ben. Come on. That's poor.
Yeah, but, you know, great time.
Wow. Oh,
Nice
do you know
time.
what?
Had a coffee, got a bacon roll afterwards. It's weird doing just the normal things afterwards, though.
So what do you do? How do you wind down from a proposal?
Volunteer at hospital radio.
There it is,
obviously.
and that's what you do. And I didn't have that in my life after I proposed.
No.
Oh, can we compare proposals? I don't want to steal
Okay.
your thunder. Right?
No,
I
no,
certainly don't want to steal
let's
Ben's
do it.
thunder.
Let's
So
compare.
I think if people are listening, like right, somebody's taking you to the shores of Loch Lomond, at Dores on the beach, sun's coming up,
Yep.
lovely day. That I would say that is very romantic. That is.
And he knows that's my happy place as well. And I'm like,
Exactly,
every time
'cause
it's
yeah,
nice
you
weather,
guys
I'm
go
like,
there,
I'm
yeah.
desperate to go.
You
like,
guys go there a lot, and I've seen you take pictures, and there's your Instagram filters and stuff.
Instagrammables, yeah.
I proposed to my wife not on the shores of Loch Ness, but in a beautiful location.
Okay.
And he says this knowing that the text message is on its way. It's getting typed already
Yeah.
to say that that's not how it happened.
Okay.
I proposed in a beautiful location called the Border Viewpoint.
Okay. Lovely.
That sounds lovely, doesn't it?
Is
The
it a service
Border-
station?
No, it's not.
Is it a cheese?
How dare you? Is that a service station or a cheese? Nice callback there.
I know.
No, so when you are still just getting used to people and you go on your first breakaway with each
Okay,
other.
yeah.
We went to York.
Very nice.
For just before Christmas.
Yes.
You know, it's like York's a lovely city.
I mean, they've got the Christmas markets on and stuff.
Exactly,
like-
right.
Did you go into the ghost shop? They buy you little
this
ghosts?
was 18 years ago, Shannon. I don't know.
I think they've had it since then.
I don't know if
but-
you had Christmas markets back then. I don't think the concept had existed. And I thought, do you know what? I love this woman. I'm going to marry her.
Very nice.
How sweet's that?
Good
so,
to know.
but of course, being a proud Scot, I'm not going to propose in England. Goodness no. Sorry, England. Just that's how it is. Sorry, England.
You're pointing at me while you're saying that, rude.
I said I'm going to propose in Scotland. So I was driving up the A1.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, where are we going to do it? What are we going to do? I'm panicking, I'm sweating. Laura's like, you seem really nervous. I was like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So you're running out of low on petrol. Should we not stop and get petrol? No, I've got a plan.
Running out.
So when you get to the Border Viewpoint,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a beautiful location. It's stunning. There's lovely rockeries and a cairn that says Scotland on it and the flags. I proposed in the lay-by in the A1.
Well.
The burger van was shut as well, which was even worse.
Oh,
You wish you'd
no.
proposed in a services. I proposed in a lay-by with nothing else.
Yeah.
Right in front of the Scotland cairn with the flags.
Yeah. So
And
we-
the bit
yeah.
of grass that gets cut because Scotland cuts the grass in and England doesn't. But that's
I do see that. It's
So-
quite funny. It's quite amusing.
so. Let's put this on an Insta vote.
Yeah.
Who was the most romantic? Was it Ben Hanby with his "I'm going to take the woman who I love and have been together with for 7 years to the shores of Loch Ness," or is it Tom with his "A lay-by next to A1"? You tell us, internet.
Should
who's
I
the
pop
most
it
romantic
on
here?
the Instagrams
Let's
and
put
see
that
what
on Instagram
happens?
and just
All right.
see how that vote goes.
Yeah, so Highland Hospital Radio on Instagram. I'll quickly pop that up as well. Do you know what's funny? Literally a week ago, I said, Ben, you could propose with a Haribo ring, and I'd say yes. And now I'm sitting there like, why'd I ask for a Haribo ring? Anyway, as it is.
Amazing. Everything. It's such good news. It's absolutely made my day.
Aw,
I was
thank you very
shaking when
much.
you told me. I was. Goodness,
Yeah.
it's lovely. It's lovely.
Beat Detective is on the way.
Oh,
It should be
yes.
available on social media just now. But let's get some Rusted Root on. Apparently, I wasn't allowed to
please.
delete this one off the
Yeah, you
system.
tried to delete this.
It was
This is
you wanted the
such a
PSAs
good
earlier.
song. Yeah.
This is Send Me On My Way, studio at hhr.scot, and I'll pop the poll up on Instagram.
Hello everyone, it's Tom from the future in terms of the podcast, but obviously still the past when you're listening to this. What happened now is somebody phoned the studio and it totally caused a meltdown between Shannon and I. We're not very professional, and we totally forgot to tell you what the clue was to Beat Detective, so I'm just dropping it in now. Your Beat Detective for this week, it was a song with only one single word in the title. Your clue is something unseen, unstable and powerful enough to change everything it touches. Your artist, made up of two words, my name roars loud, born not of fire, but myth and thought of scaled empire. Stay tuned for the answer to this week's Big Detective, and the fascinating This or That is on its way now.
That was Steps. Last thing on my mind.
It was indeed. Is
What
it time for,
were we doing? Sorry.
I think we are surely about to play a game of This or That.
Is it this or that?
It's
right,
got
okay,
to be.
let
It's
me
1:30 on your Saturday drop-in. And it's round about this time we play, this is our regular feature, This or That.
Okay.
We've had various different games of This or That. We started off with Who Can Forget, of course, is it a motorway services or a cheese?
Yep.
While Shannon was away, we had a 60s versus 90s This or That,
was
special
good.
edition.
What did you do with Phil?
What we did with Phil last week was it was Agnetha Folkskog's birthday from ABBA.
Okay.
So we played basically a game of hit or miss. Was it a number one or was it not?
Oh,
So I gave
okay,
him
so
10,
is it this or that?
yeah,
isn't
it was still
yeah.
that. Yeah, so it was 10 ABBA songs in chronological order, and Phil had to decide if they were ABBA yeah or ABBA no.
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 I like that. That
What
sounds
is
good.
this week's?
So
This or that?
there's an official name,
Mhm.
and then there's your name.
Yes.
So the official name is pharmacy or lexicography.
Pharmacy or lexicography?
Is it a pharmaceutical medication,
Mhm.
or is it a really fancy word from the Oxford English Dictionary?
Amazing. Now, so this is words used by doctors or words from the dictionary.
Yeah.
So,
So what do you call it?
well, I've called it. Is it Dick or is it Doc?
Dick or Doc?
DIC or DOC? Just in case anybody's wondering about my pronunciation there. Yeah.
Right. Shall we give it a go?
Yes,
I
please.
will warn people. My pronunciations with this will be
And
shocking.
that is going to be my excuse for getting them wrong.
Right. Your first word for this or that, Dick or Doc, as we're now calling it.
Doc.
Apricity.
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 So, I mean, these technical terms. What was it? Pharmaceutical, did you say?
So it's a pharmaceutical medication.
Okay.
Or it's a fancy word from the Oxford English Dictionary for lexicographers. Susie Dent's a lexicographer.
She is.
She's a good one as well.
My wife has a
I've
degree.
met her.
My wife has a degree in medicinal chemistry and is probably rooting for me in home right now.
Or not helping you
Or
at
not
all.
helping me at all. Apricity. Okay, my first guess is going to be Dick.
It is a dick. Yes.
Oh, yay! From
It
the
is-
dictionary.
it
That's why
is,
we're
yeah.
saying Dick.
I was
It's
like,
from the
wait,
dictionary.
what? Yeah, so it's a beautiful, almost forgotten word meaning the warmth of the sun in winter.
Oh, apricity.
That is a
the
good
warmth of the
word.
sun in winter.
It's a bit like when people found out what aglet meant as a kid when we were watching Phineas and Ferb. It was a whole thing. They did
okay.
a show about it.
Okay, I'm
it
with
was
you.
great. So you got that one right.
I did. One right.
Your second one is NTVO. NTVO.
And say that. Can I get?
N-
could I ask for the spelling, please?
ENTYVIO.
Got to be Doc.
It is a. Which way is we doing this again?
Dictionary or doctor?
It is a doc.
Yes.
It's treatment for ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease.
Ah, okay.
Snollygoster.
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 Do you know what? I'm right out of the block. I'm saying that's from the dictionary because I can picture Susie Dent, who is the go-to for, as you've already mentioned. Susie Dent is the go-to for these things. That's from the dictionary.
Well, I actually have, it is Dick.
Yes.
It is. It is a shrewd, unprincipled person, especially a politician.
Oh, say the words again. Sorry.
Snollygoster.
Snollygoster.
I don't know
Do
if
you what?
anyone
It
needs
does-
to put that into their
I'm-
their vocabulary, but here we are.
If that's not the title of this podcast,
That's very, very true. What is Symmetricious?
ooh, Symmetricious.
Symmetricious.
Or is now this is a PS kind of Symmetricious, or is it SY? What's
It's
my spelling
a
here?
CY at the start.
CY. Nobody had CY written down.
No, no, exactly.
CY. That sounds kind of doctory. I'm going Doc.
It is Dick.
Ah.
It means having wavy hair, wildly niche, very Victorian and very real.
Yet again with the hair comments. Fine.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think about that. What is Zeljans?
Spelling, please.
Xeljanz. An amazing word for Scrabble, shall I say. If you get a triple word on that,
Oh, geez, you've won the game.
Yeah, basically.
Zeljans.
Zeljans, I'm assuming.
Zeljans.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Doc.
It is Doc. It's an
Excellent.
immunosuppressant drug used for rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah, of course.
I bet there's loads of people in the road being
Do you
like,
know what?
it's
There's
Dick.
people upstairs or across the NHS Highlands who are going, that's what I'm on. Yes.
Exactly. What is agreeable?
Agreeable.
Agreeable.
That sounds like a nasty person, so I'm going to go Dick for that one, please.
It is the Dick.
Yes.
It is a term used in special effects. Model making or little detailed bits on spacecrafts. So, like Warhammer and stuff like that?
Yep.
Yep. That is. Should we move on very quickly? What
Please.
is Lunesta?
Sorry, what was the word again, please?
Lunesta.
Spelling, please.
Lunesta.
Lunesta. That sounds like it's something a medicinal person would say. I'm going Doc.
It is Doc. It is a sleep
goodness
aid.
for that.
So it sounds like, it's just a sleep aid.
It's a sleep aid.
It's a sleep aid, yeah.
Lunar, yeah, I suppose there's something in.
Lunesta.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure it's
okay.
under some branded names and things like
absolutely,
that as well. Let me see. Dupicent.
Dupicent. That again, I can picture the plinth with Susie Dent on it saying Dupicent. It sounds like someone who doesn't pay attention or someone who does something. So I'm saying Dick.
It is Doc.
Oh,
it's
no.
for asthma, eczema, and allergies.
I should really know that.
Mhm.
That's not good.
It should
Tom.
do, but it's all right. You've got 2 more left.
Yes.
How many are we at for you?
I am at 6 right, 2 wrong, so I'm doing pretty well here.
That's
I'm
a
on.
pass.
I'm still on for 80%.
That's a pass.
Still on for 80%.
Frindle.
Frindle.
What is a frindle?
Is
it a frindle? Does one frindle? Does one take frindle?
Are they a frindle? Have I frindled?
Let's not start that one.
Oh man, if I find out that, oh goodness. Frindle. Could be a drug. I'm going to go Doc, please.
It is Dick.
No!
It's originally made up in a kid's book by Andrew Clements, and it's become wildly recognised, and it means pen.
Really?
Yeah, a frindle.
Pass me my frindle.
Well, I guess when they were like feathers and stuff like that.
Frindle.
A frindle.
Frindle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your last one for this
Come on.
week's
Come
This
on,
or
Tom.
That is Zibeta.
Zibeta.
Yes. Zibeta.
It sounds druggy. I am going to finish. I'm going to. Oh, but a Zibeta. No, I'm going to go for a final Doc.
It is Doc.
Yes.
It's used to treat high blood pressure. The generic name is bisoprolol.
Oh, well, if you'd
anyone's
said
out
that.
there. Yeah, but I don't want to make it that easy.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, guess what I got, Shannon? 7.
7 out of
7
10.
out of 10. That's okay.
70%, that's a pass.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'll take
that's
that.
a, what, C, B, C? Once upon a time.
I'm not someone who knows much about getting high grades, I'm afraid. Sorry. It's not
If
really
you
my
played
thing.
along to Dick or Doc,
It's best not to give it the definitive article in front of it. That's
if we've got any nurses or doctors listening in that played along, we'd love to know your
I'd like to think they would have got a higher
your
score than
review
me.
on our pronunciations of certain medications as well. We'd truly appreciate the feedback there. So make sure you are messaging studio@hhr.scot. Oh, we've got some cool in the gang up next.
Oh, yes, please.
Ah,
Celebration.
been
Oh,
a
this-
while.
Who put that in,
the
eh?
system.
Oh,
It must have known.
It knew.
Celebrate good times. That used to be our Friday assembly. Oh, hello.
No,
Hello.
what?
Sorry.
Top 5.
I
Top
pressed-
5 bracket female close bracket presenters in hospital broadcasting, and yet she doesn't know how to press stop on the computer. Honestly.
I pressed stop in the wrong one.
Oh,
Sorry.
goodness me.
Anyway,
I would never do
you
that.
never guess what the next song is, but we'll have a quick chat first, shall we?
And by the way, you can tell that this is a Shannon Marvel production
will
today.
you shush?
Because I would not allow that to be played on the system.
Do you know I busted?
Busted
The
I'm okay
film
with.
was amazing. Unpopular opinion, I can hear.
Wow.
That's not what we came on to talk
No,
about.
we came on because today it's record store day, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
the, vinyl
it is.
day.
Yeah. Grampian reminded us of that. Cheers, Hospital Radio Grampian.
Hi, Grampian Hospital Radio.
Hi,
They have
Ginny.
done some. They have done some good stuff on the old socials.
Yeah,
with
they've
the old
done pretty
record day
well.
stuff. We didn't.
Sorry.
Other things going
Saturday's
on.
quite busy for social
Saturday's
media.
busy
so-
for us, exactly. We've
Yeah.
got so much other monitored hashtag content going on here. But we thought, since we've got the chance, just to quickly talk about first vinyls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now the thing is, obviously, you're so disgustingly young that vinyl.
It wasn't.
It was gone, but it's come back. Obviously.
I was in the transition of tapes to CDs.
Really?
Tape to CDs. Yeah, we had loads of tapes as a kid.
Really? I'm
Yeah,
trying to think.
yeah. Well, my first car, I could only play tape recorders.
Well,
in
I
it.
suppose that's true. Yeah, early noughties, it was still probably going to be a car player. Yeah. Yep.
An FM.
FM. God, the dream of being on FM.
Yeah,
Hmm.
those days. Anyway, so what was your first record?
As if anyone who's been on to hhr.scot and clicked on, presenters and meet the team, they will know that the first vinyl I bought was a 45, and it was Bomb Ballerina, Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini.
It's a good song.
It's an absolute banger of a tune.
I remember watching the music video.
Oh, it's so camp and cheesy, yes.
Oh,
But it's a camp
hugely.
cheesy song, so
Yeah.
it works. But the other one I bought round about probably that same time was a re-release of Reet Petite by Jackie Wilson.
Repeat.
I don't know why it came out again. It might have been for an advert, but they
It possibly was.
Yeah, they made a claymation film to go with it.
Oh,
So kind of
right,
Wallace
okay.
and Gromit kind of style.
Yeah.
Or Morph for, if you're that way inclined. Yeah, so they made a video for that. So that was my first vinyl, was a 45.
Okay.
What about yourself?
Mine was Bob the Builder, the album.
Oh, yes, please.
When they decided we'll release an album and a music video and stuff like that, and that was the first one I got. But if you want to go back to like what my first vinyl was, funnily enough, it was for Ben. I don't know, typical guy, keeps coming back, don't know why. I bought him a first press Morrissey vinyl, Viva La Hate, that I found in a shop, and the guy was just like, "Oh, let me just test it for you to make sure," and I'm just like, "I'll just pay for it. Oh man."
It's cool.
I didn't really know anything about vinyls back then, but apparently, like, asking it to be tested if it's a first press is like a big thing. I'm like,
See, this is unfortunately there's a bit of a tag that gets attached to vinyl these days. I think there is a degree of musical snobbery about it. I'll say it.
don't go to Union
yeah.
Vinyl and say that though.
I know. Well, what we will say is Union Vinyl. They are very anti-record store day because they want to say every day is record store
Every
day.
day is, which it should be.
But the record store I go to in Aberdeen, they're very much let's go for it. If we're staying in Inverness, if you want another option for your record stores, Barney's on Tom the Hurrick Street.
Yes, Barney's.
In fact, we would love to know across the whole NHS Highland area if there is a local independent store that's doing vinyl. We would love to hear about it, and we would happily give them a mention. In fact, we'd just turn up one day and do a show.
No, exactly.
If you like shows that are broadcast completely on 45s.
Oh, yes.
I think a comment's just come in on the computer.
It
here.
has, but you keep going about your
Okay.
your show.
If you do no
your
It's
show.
not my show.
The show, the
7
station show.
o'clock on Sundays, Roscoe Smith presents his show, which is Ready Steady Go Go, which he does completely from 45s.
It's insane.
Which I love.
I love it because it's like it's how it used to be.
Indeed, yeah. So he's showing us all how it should be done, whereas we can't even press stop on a computer.
Oh, would you? One time, it was the phone went off. There's a lot been happening today.
It's fair to say, Shannon, you've had a busy day.
I have a very busy day, and
You've got that extra weight on your left hand now as well, of course.
There you go. Nen has a vinyl shop now as well.
Oh, right, yep.
But Ben's first vinyl was the Commodores from a charity shop. Bought it home, and it was in 3 pieces. That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose that's you have to
Can't
have a
say that's easy let Sunday mornings, can you?
Oh, good.
You're welcome. Shall we move on?
Can I have a boo for that one? Anybody want to give
What
a
was the
boo?
boo? Was it
3,
that one?
I think.
3.
Oh no, 3's a Christmas cracker. Yeah, you're not getting a boo, but you deserve it.
It's not happening, but that's okay. Shall we play the next song?
If we
As
must.
we already know what it is.
If
like,
we must.
You know what? The system called me. It was there, and I was like, all right, why not? This is Busted Thunderbirds Are Go. We have got 15 minutes until
Goodness.
the end of the show.
Let's go
So
for it.
Be Detective is on its way. And we are.
Oh, this time she presses stop and doesn't realise she's pressed stop.
No, I was
Top
chatting to a mate.
5
I'm sorry.
of all the female presenters in hospital broadcasting, Shannon Marvel.
Yeah. Hi. And that's how I would introduce myself afterwards.
And that's exactly it.
Yeah. There was actually, funnily enough, there was a Vox Pops as well happening at the HBAs. And I kind of fluffed it up because they were just like, what were you expecting for the night? And I was like, to get back to my main because you took me away from my starter. So you might see me on that all glitz and glammed and stuff like that.
So just so people know, that the Hospital Broadcasting Association has awards every year, but they also have their conference. So Ali was very busy going around all the different vendors and stalls and stuff.
Of course he was.
He was schmoozing with some very important people indeed.
Yeah.
A really worthwhile trip. And some success that Shannon was recognised as one of the top 5 presenters.
I know.
Which is amazing.
Shocking.
That is a really high achievement. So
no.
done.
It's lovely. It's just nice to see that people are sort of seeing that as well.
Absolutely. You're getting the Shannon Marvel brand out there. That's important.
I am, yeah. I get it.
She's available, folks, if you've got a radio station, and she's there.
Yeah, exactly. So just got to the point where we need to reveal the last song of the show, which is done through Beat Detective. We'll try again this time.
Yeah. Because it's just sort of dawned on us that if you're listening live, we haven't actually told you what the question is yet.
Yeah. Did you at least tell them to go to socials, right?
I did, yes.
Thank you.
So that's done. But if we might cheat. So if this is the podcast, we might have already snuck in the question already.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you listen on the podcast, just hit pause after we tell you the question. And then you can have a think about it and then press play. That's acceptable, yeah?
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
So we'll just quickly do it now.
Let's go for it. Let's
do it. Time. The song is one word, something unseen, unstable, and powerful enough to change everything it touches. And the artist is 2 words. My name roars loud, born not of fire, but myth and thought, a scaled empire. What do you think it is?
That's cracking.
It's a good one, isn't it?
I would press play on that one.
Yeah, I think that it is...
Well, something unseen, unstable, powerful enough to change everything it touches. Well, that's going to be something radioactive, maybe?
I think so. And who sung Radioactive?
Somebody who, along the lines of my name, roars loud, born not of fire, but myth and thought of a scaled empire.
Do you know what? If you had a horned hat, perfect.
Oh, man. Am I imagining something?
You should be a Viking.
Thanks.
In a good way.
All right. Here's
so
Imagine Dragons.
We'll see you next week. Sounds like a plan? Cool. So, that's the end. Sorry. So that's the end of this week's Saturday Drop-In. Thank you for listening.
What a Saturday Drop-In that was. We need to decompress.
A lot happened. I was not expecting the phone call halfway through that. I think I screamed down the mic.
Yes, you did a wee bit, but then to be fair, I did
that last time that happened, that one time, a few years back as well. So. Most people just email their requests in now, so it's nice to get a phone call every now and then.
Yeah, but it does put even the most hardened professional off.
Yeah. My jeans are now brown.
Oh, that TMI, Shannon.
That's all right. Worse things have happened, so.
So
cool.
Today's show was a cracker. I thought that the Florians.
What an amazing
Morik and
group.
Fiona. It's nice whenever we get actor groups in.
Yes.
People who are performers. They just go for it, and it's brilliant. We don't need to really coax anything out of them. They're so well prepared. They had all their notes ready, and they just went for it, which is great for us.
Mm-hmm.
We also had our usuals, our guest of the year, Beat Detective, this or that. But then your news. I know we've talked about it again during the show, but I just want to say again, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's so nice. It really is.
I know.
Goodness.
What happens now? I was saying in the show as well, it's quite weird just doing normal things afterwards, because it's just like a big thing happened, and now you're just like, I just have to get on with it.
I still need to go and spend time with that other guy.
No,
and do a radio show
nothing like that. Like, do you know what? If I knew, I would have just said, I'm not coming in. Something's happening.
Yeah,
we'll
obviously.
let you know. But
so talk me through it. So how did he lure you from Dingwall to Doors?
So, I'm trying to think. Well, yesterday he was a bit like, well, what we'll do before, go into the drop-in. Come out and hang out with us for like Doors, because the weather is meant to get bad after today.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So he's like, you're desperate to go anytime it's sunny, so let's just go on the last day before the weather gets a bit pants. And I'm like, all right. It's like, we'll get breakfast and coffee. And I'm like, oh, well, taken. Done. Sorted.
Yeah, sold.
And so the alarm went off at 7. And he's like, right, I'm going to go in for a quick shower. Then after you need to go in for a quick shower. And I was like, why do I need to go in for a quick shower? It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Why am I waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday? First off, right? I have at least a line till like 9. And then I'll get ready, do the drop-in. And And he was like, no, it's just because of the traffic. Because it's traffic and, you know, we got to get something to eat. And then by the time everything's sorted and we're down there, I don't want to rush. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. So that happened. And then so I was like, oh, well, if you're busy, I'll order coffee through the app. He's like, all right then. So did that. And then he drove over and, yeah, just kind of like chilling. He was like, we need to be by the yellow bushes. And I was like, why the yellow bushes? He's like, well, you like yellow. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, we need to be next to a yellow, but it was far away from possible as other people that were also there as well.
Yep,
so, yeah. And then, because what we do normally when we go like to doors is skimming, because it's just something to do. I'm obsessed with skimming. The moment there's water and stones, I'm like, I'm having it.
What's your record?
10.
Ooh, that's a good.
Not as good as like I want to be like, you know, like professional skimmers. They're really cool people. So I was doing that, and I was like collecting stones, and he brought out this box, and I was like, why has he brought a second watch with him? Because he's got a couple of watches over his birthday, so I was just like, why has he brought a watch, like a box?
Ben, stop buying watches for goodness sake.
And then I was just like, joking around and stuff. I was like, oh, I've got like a pile of stones. He was like, oh, I've got a good stone as well. And then I turned around and it was there, and I was like, oh. So I got a good stone for you, darling.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I think in terms of balance, as much as you said, oh, that's really romantic, right? For, you know, the flip side is, yeah. Really?
I know. But yeah, we just sort of like chilled out. We're just like, oh, that's kind of happened. What are we like? It's lovely, but at the same time, we're just trying to like, we're cool him because you have to do sort of the ring round, literally.
Yes, literally.
No pun intended.
Yep.
So like, my mum's like, oh yeah, I knew. I'm like, well, of course you knew, because my mum went round and asked permission from my mum, my dad, and my uncle.
Ben went round.
It
would be weird if your mum went round and asked permission.
It's been a long morning. I'm sorry.
That's nice. So Ben was traditional in that sense, went and spoke to everybody who needed to be spoken to. That's good.
Exactly.
Yes, I like that.
Mum was first because she's the boss.
Yeah, I've sussed that out already. Nobody crosses with Kerry.
No, exactly. Nobody crosses with Kerry. Jeez, oh. And then we just did sort of the cool round and things like that. My dad just went, well, it's about time too.
Yep.
Because he said at my dad's wedding to Ben, he was like, you're next. And Ben's like, oh. Yeah, it was nice, and then it's just weird just doing the drive back, and it's like, oh, that's just happened.
What do you do after that? That sort of that high point is like, well, how do I go back to just doing normal things now that we've done this? Now I've got this on.
Yeah. Like every now and then we're sort of just like messaging people that like are working or something like that, just to be like, oh, your turn, or just being like, we got something to say. You got time. But yeah, like it's been nice. And people who
lovely.
Currently know, and then we'll do like the big Facebook takeover.
Yeah, the social media thing kind of.
I don't mind it. It's just like, I don't know. You sort of sit there and wait for like Christmas, New Year, because that's 9 times out of 10 people get engaged or have babies during that time or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. Can't be bothered with that. No, thank you. So yeah, perfect.
So was there anything about today that was special? Was it just today? He
was going to do it Tuesday, but the ring wasn't in the jewelers. It's a good plan B. It's a good plan B.
Do you know how his plan B's go?
Yeah.
That's a good plan B. No, he's done well there. He's done well.
Yeah.
You know, occasionally he manages to come good, the boy.
Occasionally he comes to the OBs.
Oh, good stuff. No, I'm genuinely so happy for you, delighted for you. Yeah. And it's nice that my daughter's messaged to say congratulations. Laura, my wife, she's messaged as well.
Still need to do our board game night, to be fair.
Yes, we still need to do a board game night.
I've been waiting for your patio to be done.
Well, we've got the patio, that's done.
Yeah.
We've also got the new couch that now fits in the living room.
Oh, did you not have it? Tell us about your sofa story.
Well,
did it just not fit? Is it too big?
It fitted. Well, we had a 3-2 sofa, right? So
three,
you know, like
a three-seater and a
two-seater.
Okay,
right?
Got you.
So I bought a corner sofa.
Okay,
to replace that. That's a 3 and a 2, yeah?
Yeah.
But I may have over-ordered on, you know, like the little army bits that you can get, and they've got cup holders.
Oh, love a cup holder.
So, and you get one of them, and that was to set. That was going between Laura and I on our seats, which I was not celebrating. But I was like, come on, we've reached a point where, what do you want? Do you want to snuggle, or do you want a cup holder? And Laura immediately went, I want a cup holder. So that's
What's
cool.
wrong with snuggling you?
What? come on, it's 18 years, Shannon. 18, you'll be like this soon, don't worry.
Oh, all right then.
But then I was like, but hold on, that means that there's open access from the children to me on our corner sofa. So I want my own. So I ordered
You want
extra,
your barrier for your kids as well.
So basically, I ordered an extra army thing.
Okay.
So that was the straw that broke the fitting couch's camel's back.
Right.
So yeah, I had to completely reform the living room and change everything around, like the telly from one corner to another.
Do you have to like full on like feng shui it?
Yes.
Oh.
I love it now. It's great.
Good. But
I had to move the
between that,
fireplace.
it's stressful.
Had to move the fireplace.
What?
What?
No. What? Oh, do you have like a?
Our fireplace is fake.
Okay.
But it's.
I was just like, how can you move a chimney?
Yeah.
My
So it's
building
cracking
brain
that
does not work like
If you've
that.
ever been to, if you have been to a house, you would like see where the fireplace has been since we moved in,
Yeah.
and now it's on the other wall, and you'd be like, "That's a cracking bit. You've done well there."
Yeah.
And then, but the wall that it's now on is the wall into the hallway. So quite clearly, it's giving the game away now.
Yeah.
We don't know how Santa's going to get in the house anymore, but we'll work on that
Right,
one come
it's a
Christmas
Santa,
time.
that's
Well, we
how it
leave out
works.
the magic key, obviously, because the magic key opens the door for Santa.
Right. Okay. Got you.
But, you know, we've got it covered. We're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, board game night. We definitely need to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, the board game night's only for like proper couples, so now you fit that criteria. We
Oh,
you're part of the
thanks.
gang now.
I mean, I think long-term couples kind of count, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
not
Put a
everyone
ring
needs
on
to
it.
get-
Come on. Are you going to get him a
Yeah.
ring?
Huh?
Are you going to get him a ring? Is there like a training ring to get him?
Do I need to do that?
No, you don't.
Okay, cool.
This is not a tradition or anything. It was when.
I've heard about training rings. Is
Right.
that did
So
you get
this
a training
one,
ring?
this one here, right?
It does feel weird. I'll be honest
Right.
with you. It's a bit like,
So
huh?
I never used to wear rings, right?
Mhm.
Until. And obviously, knowing you're getting married, you're like, well, I'm going to have to wear a ring all the time. And at first, I remember saying to Laura, I was like, "Would you mind if I wore it like on a chain or something?" Because I just never,
weird.
I've never worn jewelry.
Yeah.
So I got a training ring. So that was
Okay.
my first ring.
Right.
Until we got married, and then when we got married, I got my proper wedding ring.
Oh, is your wedding ring like detailed and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Ah, let me have a look.
Since we can't get, I can't get in trouble handing you a ring now because
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
covered. We're good. We're safe.
It's definitely separate partners, you know.
Now look at
That's
how
very cool.
no, but look at how damaged that thing is. If there's
Oh,
nothing
it needs to clean.
Nothing that speaks volumes about marriage. It's the state of
The wear and tear.
the
of
wear
the
and
ring.
tear. Because that used to have like the outer two bands were sort of
Yeah.
shinier, then it was buffed.
Oh,
And
right,
then look
okay.
at there's like a chip missing out the tiny wee stone that's in it compared
Oh
to yours.
no!
And if you hold it
yeah,
up,
I've got quite a bit.
yeah,
Sorry.
if you hold it up, you'll actually see it's not even circular anymore. It's actually been bent out of shape.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. If
You have an
that's
oval finger.
that is 18. No, that's 18 years of marriage has done this, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
We listen, but we don't judge. Oh, good. So the
Good
A1's
stuff.
a lovely place to propose.
Hmm?
The A1's a lovely place to propose.
Listen, the board of viewpoint. I think it's got a brown Scottish tourist board sign.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's classy.
Is it?
Do you know what? So
Was it cleaned?
whilst we were earlier on, there was a reply that came in because who out of the pair of us has had the most romantic proposal location?
Yes.
And we've put that on Insta to see if anybody's interested in that.
Mhm.
And Laura, my wife, has said Loch Ness or a lay-by with a closed burger van. And she says that's a toughie.
It's a toughie.
If that burger van had been opened, she would have been much happier, I'm sure. But no.
Aww.
But then no. So I
That's
didn't have a
sad.
ring when I proposed because it wasn't like I
What
planned
did
it.
you use in like?
So what I did is we
Was it
got
an
in the
onion
car.
ring?
No. We had all sorts of crazy ideas, but what I decided was
Yeah.
we got back in the car and we drove up to a retail park outside Edinburgh, and she went and picked her own engagement ring.
Oh, that's nice.
So Laura picked her own engagement ring,
Yeah.
and therefore I said nothing about price or anything. She just went for it.
Yeah. Why not?
That engagement ring, however, was engagement ring Mark 1 because Laura lost her engagement ring.
Oh no. That's honestly my fear right now. Is like falls and it goes somewhere, and like that box is like staying with. It's gonna be attached to my hip. I'm gonna get like a little clip for it. So
It's like you get similar concept to your AirPods.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Laura's engagement ring, Mark 1, we think is in a nappy bin in a zoo in West Lothian is where it ended
Oh,
up.
it's not there anymore. But
When she realised she'd lost it, I had to open up the nappy bin in a public toilet
oh.
to try and locate the engagement ring. But in the end, we just said, sod it, it's gone.
Yeah.
I
And
bought
as an aunt who has changed nappies on a regular basis,
Yeah.
good for you for even trying.
bad enough dealing with your own
Babies.
own bloodlines, babies mess. Other, but she's got another one now.
Yeah.
She's got a similar one to yours. She's got her proper princess ring
Yeah.
now that she got for her 30th birthday. So yeah, boofed.
Yeah. Speaking of votes, we also put another vote out yesterday.
Yeah, so I want to discuss this actually.
Yeah.
I've got just one word that I want to throw at you.
Go on.
Obvs.
Obs.
I think that
I was a bit hyper last night, I'll be honest.
as the social media manager for Highland Hospital Radio,
Yeah.
I think that you have to be impartial, surely.
Yeah.
No, eat your jelly beans in front of the camera.
They're tasty. Sorry, Donnie.
So you put up 4 options about which action figure was the best, because this is the new thing.
The
new
AI
craze
action
is
figure.
the AI action figure. Okay, so I had a go at making them up for us. Now, an interesting thing about this, I made my one up and sent it to you and said, "What do you think of that?" And I says, "Can I make one of you?"
Yeah, absolutely.
But here's the thing: it's kind of creepy.
Mine came out a bit dumpy, didn't it?
Yeah, but imagine.
What did you put for my height?
I didn't type in height because I got rid of the height thing because it published my height on the thing, so I got rid of height
174 centimeters.
on a good day.
On a good day.
So I got rid of that, so because I didn't think that needed to be going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, how creepy is it that you could make AI of someone? I thought it was important that I had consent before I took a
Oh,
photograph
yeah,
of you and
for
typed
sure.
it in.
Always
It's
consent
quite
before generating
weird.
AI images.
Yeah, there's a weirdness to the whole thing.
Yeah, but yeah, mine's pretty. It's all right.
It's not
Worse
been
things
as
can be
generous.
generated. It's not been very generous for me.
It's
so
not been
thanks,
generous to
AI.
you, but it wasn't me. I didn't type in.
All I'm thinking
make her
is, if I
very-
have that as a before and after with my gym situation, then I'd be.
Yeah, but
I
think,
look great.
But your character, I think, looks buff. I think your action figure
I think
looks
I look buff.
actiony. But that's you're working out. You're
Yeah.
putting on some muscle. You could
No idea.
easily
So
beat me in a fight. It's.
Yeah.
So I think that's what your character is
okay.
showing. We should have put that down as one of your accessories with a dumbbell or something, just for.
Yeah, I should have like a little kettlebell, but I wanted a coffee cup.
Yes,
The takeout
So
cup.
you've got the takeout cup, and I've got the.
Everyone,
the
do you know
actual
what?
China mug.
For the people that I've seen that are in radio that are doing the AI action figures, everyone has a coffee mug, everyone has a mic,
Yeah.
everyone has a headset, because that is what we're known for.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Give me
Bringing
3
in
things
hot
to
drinks
describe.
into a studio when it's strictly prohibited.
Oh no, we would
Always
never.
having your headphones,
chuck
no
us a
one having
jelly,
a
baby.
mic.
Yeah,
go
we
on.
would never eat or drink in the studio.
Of course not.
No.
How dare we be? Let me just grab my juice as well.
Stop it.
I've got to behave now because, I've got to fit into dresses and all that stuff.
Well, have you already thought about dates or plans, or have you
Been engaged for
Well, no, but here's the thing: there's no rush.
No, exactly.
rush.
Yeah.
If it's taken them 7 years to propose in the first place, what we're looking at 14 years before the
Yeah,
wedding.
exactly. Like everyone at work says, I've got patience of a saint. So everyone calls me Saint Shannon. Well,
Saint
that's nice.
Shannon.
Saint Shannon or Saint Sharon, depending on
Yeah, well,
if people
obviously.
reply with my correct email. But do you want to know the score for the
Oh, don't
voting?
worry, I know the score. Oh, well, I saw it last night anyway.
Did you?
Yeah,
Did
well,
you
go
see
on
the
then.
total?
Go on then.
Split.
Really?
Split both ways.
Is it?
So it's 3 votes for Tom, 3 votes for Shannon, Offs, and then 3 votes for. They're both great. Which means I don't want to choose between one or the other.
Because my daughter voted last night, and I was like, and who did you vote for?
Just
You
vote for Tom.
You obviously, Dad. I was like, I don't believe you.
No, she did. It tells you who voted. So whoever
No, don't read that. Don't read that. No, no, no.
PJW0847,
Don't
they
read
voted
that.
for you.
Don't read that, because then it's going to reveal that I voted for myself, which is really lame.
You didn't.
Did
You
I
voted-
not?
They're both great.
Did I tick they're both great?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Do you know who else voted for you? Producer Bill.
Oh, producer Bill, yes,
Yeah,
mate.
I voted for myself.
Oh, so now that says so much. I voted for we're both great, and you voted for yourself.
Exactly. Fraser Mills. He
Oh
voted
yeah,
for me.
he's a friend of the station. He's
Exactly.
in constant contact with us. Yes.
Kenny McCallan voted. They're both great. Thanks, Kenny.
There you go.
Ben, obviously me. I think he had to the day before he was going to propose to me as well.
That would have been an interesting discussion.
Yeah. Susan Topping
Oh yeah.
voted. They're both great as well. Luckily, no one voted. What on earth is this?
Well, that's good. Yeah, Susan.
I think that's positive.
Susan, of course, is one of our board visitors.
She is. Yeah. Thank you very much, Susan.
Grand. So yeah, AI action figures. What's going to be the next thing? It's good for us. We're actually on the curve here. We're actually with the
Yeah.
event.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going to be next because, like, yeah, AI is just a scary place.
It is a wee bit.
Yeah.
So we have discussed engagement,
Yeah.
potential marriage.
Yeah. Potential because it's
Oh,
never
I say-
actually fully confirmed.
I
is
say
it?
that not because I doubt it. It's just timeline.
Yeah.
So yeah, are you one of these people who has like had this dream of what your perfect wedding is going to be? Because I'll be honest, you don't strike me as that person, Shannon.
Well, my mum and dad weren't married, and in a way, that was fine because they split up and we didn't have to go through a divorce process. So like they were just thinking of us, us kids.
That's an interesting way of looking at it. Yeah.
But my mum took my dad's name just
Yeah.
out of common courtesy, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, but yeah, like no, not really. We've had ideas and we just sort of like throw things around. But
I still think you and Ben would have like quite a practical wedding. It would be.
I definitely want to dress with pockets. That's like a big
Yeah,
thing
exactly.
now.
See-
I want to put my hands in my pockets. What happens if I get
Absolutely.
chilly?
Yeah. Well, it's if the buffet comes by, but you're like, I don't actually want to eat right now, but if I could cram a couple of sausage rolls in there,
I'd definitely chuck a sausage roll in my 1,000+ pound dress, whatever. However, oh my god, so
as soon as you put the word wedding in front of something, you're going to be the sort of bride who has like your Converse sneakers on.
Do you know what I am? I'm buying white Vans.
White Vans.
White
so
Vans.
When we were making up the AI, I was like, I changed out my Adidas white
Yes,
Adidas
I
trainers
did
to
see.
Converse sneakers for you.
Yeah.
So it was tried to get it as matching as I could.
But yeah, like, just nothing in particular. Luckily, Ben has a cousin who owns they do all the big tents.
Ooh, that's a good person to know.
Who the lead singer of Kaiser Chiefs rented out. So I'll ask for
Clang.
that one too. Like,
Could
sure,
you
go away.
hire out and do it on the banks of Loch Ness at doors?
I could do, but I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
I was gonna say the guy who now owns Doors In, who's also Mr. Boohoo Man and the space guy.
Meh.
Right, so yeah, I don't know. Like, we thought Wales would be nice because Wales is the perfect place. Like,
Oh yeah, for getting to.
it's fine.
Says the guy who's assuming
Same-
he's getting an invite.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell?
Sorry.
We've already
Yeah,
got Ali
yeah.
as DJ. Oh,
Have
joke.
it wherever you want. See if I care.
Yeah, just like
Or just run away and do it your two selves.
yeah.
Elope somewhere.
I did actually think about eloping because it's quite cheap apparently.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Do Vegas.
no, I wasn't thinking Vegas. I was thinking like Gretna. Yeah, because they do like packages. Because that comes up on TikTok every now and then when it's just like, you watch one thing about proposals and weddings,
Exactly.
and then everything
So,
else is
if-
like,
when you do make your big social media announcement,
everything is going to change.
that is all your algorithm is going to show you now is cake, dresses, flowers.
Do I do the traditional fruitcake? Is it fruitcake?
We had 3 different flavours of cake, as I recall. One of
you
which didn't
recall.
even get eaten because the hotel lost it.
Oh my god!
That was.
How can you lose a wedding cake? Very little.
But we're actually going back to our hotel that we got married in.
Oh,
It's one of my friends. It's not next week, but the week after when I'm not here.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We're going to one of my friend's 40th birthdays, so we're having 2 nights in the hotel where we got married down that neck of the woods. So yeah, that'll be nice.
Cool.
Well, your engagement has overshadowed the whole show, and do you know what?
Soz.
I know, make absolutely no apologies because I've loved it.
Yeah, I had a funny joke about an MRI as well for the show.
Go on then. Do you need to
Shoot.
set up here?
Yeah, I do need a setup. How do I? I need the music. Can I do the music
You
on here?
can't do music, I'm afraid, while we're in here.
Do it on my
Sorry.
phone. Do it on my phone.
Soz.
Where's my phone? It's all right. There's a joke that's going around just now about
An MRI joke.
an MRI joke. Yeah. Let me just get
All the
it
team in the nuclear medicine department here at Rigmore are going to absolutely love this.
Let me just.
This is
Bum, bum, bum.
this is my karaoke song.
But the background
Is it the sound of a?
sounded the magnet going around. It's boing, boing, boing. And then you could time it.
That is such a banger.
I
of a
asked
tune.
for ABBA when I was getting my MRI scans.
Mhm.
This is a long time ago though, and they were just like, "What song do you want?" It's like little 11-year-old me being like, "Whatever," and they're like, "How's ABBA?" And I'm like, "I like Mamma Mia
Martin
So-
Solveig and Hello There
and Dragonette."
and Dragon It, of course.
Hello, Martin Solveig, Dragonette.
Absolutely cracking.
Yeah.
Well, look, next week's show is not going to be as good as this. It's as simple as that, unless one of us comes up with another amazing life event. But on next week's podcast, we will have the Seagull Trust coming in.
That's exciting.
And I am looking forward to that. If this leads to us actually doing a live show from a cruise
From a boat.
on the Caledonian Canal at some
Ben
stage.
has requested to be there so we can talk boats with people.
Oh, finally the OB manager wants to get involved,
I
eh?
know, because there's a boat involved, and yeah, we wanted to buy a boat at one point.
I remember the
Yeah.
boat buying crazy at stage.
Yeah, we're having that.
Dingwall or a boat?
It was Australia or a boat, and then it was
Yeah.
Dingwall.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, Dingwall did kind of come out the blue a wee bit.
Well, it
Don't
didn't
get me
really
wrong, I
have-
was
yeah.
delighted because I was worried you were going to leave because you're rather nice people.
Aw.
I'm rather fond of you both.
Thank
You're
you
very
very
nice, and I genuinely I was shaking and had a tear in my eye when you told me your news.
Yeah, I did
So-
see you got a bit like glassy. I was like, oh, it's nice.
Well, we shall leave it at that. I think we've
Yep.
blethered enough nonsense. Next week's show, Seagull Trust, usual stuff.
Be detective.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Share.
Yeah, please share.
Yeah.
And yeah,
We need new chairs.
we so need new chairs.
Chairs.
Oh, I found the one that's not squeaky.
You got the bouncy one.
Yeah, this is a good chair.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it home and keep it.
As we're just gonna be like sitting there, just going like, yeah, this is great.
Right,
Sorry.
we're going to go because this nonsense is not what you've subscribed for. I know it. We'll see you all next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Would help if I